Good evening. Welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles, and we're happy to have you with us on the program tonight. Phone line is up there, numbers on your screen. You can email us at keneckleslive@gmail.com, and we have, I think, a caller standing by. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, it's Mark Marion.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Okay. Yeah, you're just now coming on. I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Mark. You're going to see us just a little bit behind over there, but we are on the air.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to check where am I standing at right now in the standings?
You are tied for fourth place, Mark. 278 points, which puts you 35 points out of first, tied for fourth.
Oh, okay. I'll probably take Carol Larson this time on next race.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and write that down. Mark has the 5 for Pocono. It's in the book.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's about a month. It's about a month. About a month old news. But did you know that Dee Snider lives in Greensboro now?
Dee Snider lives in Greensboro. I did not know that. How long has he lived in Greensboro?
About a month. It was on Channel 2 News. Somebody told me about it yesterday. He lives at Oak Ridge over near Greensboro.
Yeah, I know where Oak Ridge is. No, I did not know that. Dee Snider. I guess he's probably got a little money put away. He can afford, I expect, a nice place at Oak Ridge.
Yeah, he said somebody he was building a building over his house and all, and then something happened to the people building the house. He said it reminded him back when he lived in New York.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know if there are a whole lot of similarities between Oak Ridge and New York, but there's probably a few.
Yeah, he's going to have he's going to have like a movie company. He's going to start filming movies in North Carolina. And I sent you the text. I don't know if you got it or not, but I sent the text to you and Charles.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I'll look for that.
Yeah, it's a YouTube video where it was on Channel 2 News.
I'll look for that, Mark. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ken.
Thanks for calling. Let's see. Phone line open now. There's the number. Somebody else is trying to get through there, but the line is open right now. If you'd like to try it again, and the email address, keneckleslive@gmail.com. Mark, as I mentioned, is tied for fourth place after yesterday's race in Mexico City. Mr. Leaksville continues number 1. In fact, the top 3 still in order, and I'll run down those standings in a second. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing good, Early Bird. How are you?
Oh, I'm just hanging in there. That's all. Watching all this rain fall.
Man, it's never going to stop.
Well, don't look good. Tell me, what place am I in now? I come in third, I think.
Let's see. You are.
I had Chase Elliott.
Yeah, you did. You're still number 9, same as last week.
I'm still in 9th place.
Yeah, but you are closer. You are closer to 8th place than you were. You're just 4 points. Actually, there's a tie for 7th place, and then you're 4 points out of 7th place. So even though you're still number 9, you really moved up. You're a lot closer to moving up to 7th place now.
Well, good. Maybe I can pick me up good. Well, so they're racing at Pocono, huh?
Pocono is next. There's 4 races left in this segment. There's Pocono, Atlanta, the Chicago Street Race, and then there is another road course at Sonoma.
Uh-huh. That Pocono's a round track, ain't it?
Yeah, sort of. It's kind of roundish.
It's a round, but there ain't no road course.
It's not a road course. Pocono's one that's kind of like a triangle.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to think who would be good there, but I'm gonna call in the morning. I think. But anyway, what I was going to ask you, I've been buying me them little bitty Coca-Cola 6 ounce in a bottle.
Yeah.
They come in the bottle instead of plastic. They're in the bottle at the grocery store. I
Yeah.
get me a box of them. Go ahead.
Where do you get them?
I get them up at Food Line.
I didn't know they. I didn't know they had. That is, this is just me. Not everybody agrees. That's the best tasting Coke there ever was in that 6-ounce glass bottle.
Thank you, sir. I agree with you 100%. That's why I buy them. And also, I go to Sam's Club and get me them Planter peanuts, them little bitty bags, 4 ounces, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Something like it. I get me a box of them. I think it's 48 of them in a box or whatever. But I'll open them up and I'll take me one swallow of that Coca-Cola and fill the rest of them peanuts in there, and then I'll turn that drink up and just hold my lips to it and taste that little bit of salt in that Coca-Cola. Ain't that good, Ken?
Peanuts in a 6-ounce Coke. I mean, that's the first soft drink that I remember. That's the first one I ever had. And I remember my sister told me about dropping peanuts in there. And so I started dropping peanuts in there, and that's really good.
They are. It got that little taste of salt at first. Once you get that peanuts, let them all go down to the bottom, and then let your drink down. Then you start drinking. You drink like normal. And when you get to the very last swallow, ain't maybe 1 or 2 peanuts left, and that's it,
Oh,
you get
that's
all
good.
your drink and all your peanuts.
That is good.
I thought I'd throw that out there. I didn't know if you like Coca-Cola or whatever, but I just said I don't drink a lot of Cokes. But
I'm going to get me some of those 6-ounce bottles.
They're a little pricey now, but I don't care. You don't live at once, and I ain't that rich or nothing like that. But I mean, I like them, and I think it's like $6 or $7 for 6 of them. But I mean, it's worth it to me. I mean, like I said, you don't get to enjoy life at one time, so that's what I like to eat. I used to do it a long time ago, drinking Coke, little Coca-Cola with peanuts and stuff. I'm gonna start to get some of them Coca-Colas and peanuts and eat me some. I said it can't hurt me no worse than what shape I'm in now.
Well, I've gotten this far, so I might as well enjoy myself the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'm 69. I'll be 70 in November, so I hope I'll make it. But anyway, I like them. I'm gonna, like I said, I just drink one a day. Drink me 1 Coca-Cola and a bag of peanuts. I like to do that. And like if I go mow yards or somewhere, and I done eat breakfast and I get hungry at 11 or 12, I'll keep me one in the cooler and I'll pack them nuts, and I just pour them nuts in there and, like I said, drink them and eat them. I ain't hungry no more for a while. And
it's best to do that late in the day, so all day you have it to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. They're good and cold too when you got them on ice in little bottles.
Man, I want one right now.
I'll let you eat. Where you at in the pool?
Well, I'm not an official contestant.
I know you're not official.
If I was, I'd be number 13.
Number 13. Well, I could be doing work. I mean, 9 is pretty good. I guess I'm still in top 10. I could
top
be
10.
14 behind you.
Yeah, you're ahead of me.
Yeah, well, I'll let you go. Let somebody else call in. I'll talk to you later, Ken. Good talking to you, and I love your show, buddy.
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Man, 6-ounce Coke with peanuts. I haven't had that in a long. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Ken. How you doing this Monday?
I'm doing good, Leon. How are you?
I reckon I'm doing all right. I just want to call in and see how I done yesterday. I think that 88 won the race yesterday.
Yeah, by 17 seconds he won that race yesterday. Leon, you're the hottest thing on the circuit right now. You're now tied for 4th place, as you've been in the top 3 of the last 4 weeks. So you're up to a tie for 4th.
Well, how many points am I behind first place, man?
Let me do some math here. 13 plus 20. You are 35 points off the top.
Well, that ain't too bad.
Well, you've come a long way.
Yeah, you said that right. But I'm not gonna take your time. But I'm gonna take 11 this week at Pocono, Ken.
Okay, Leon has the 11 at Pocono. I guess he will be back for Pocono. Did his wife ever have that baby?
Yes, she had it. She did have it, and I was getting ready to say I reckon he's off a baby watch this coming week.
Yeah, so he'll be back for Pocono then. You got it. It's in the
Yep.
book.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks, Leon. Good to talk to you. Phone line is open. There's that phone number up there. And the email address is keneckleslive@gmail.com. Mr. Leaksville is on top with 313 points. Mr. Pelham with 303. Mr. Draper, 298. Then Leon and Mark are tied for fourth with 278. Charles is next with 275. Lady in Black and Chat GPT tied for seventh with 259. I will continue that in a second. Hi, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken.
Good evening.
Let's get down to business.
All right, let's do. Let's always get right down to business. No foolishness, no messing around.
No beating around the bushes either.
None of that. You are in, where are you? Ninth. No, you're not ninth. You are sixth, number 6.
Good, I'll accept that. In the top 10.
Top 10. Yeah, you are 3 points out of fourth place. There's a tie for fourth at 278, and you are sixth at 275.
Well, I'm not worried about it. I'm where I want to be.
Okay, well, if sixth place is where you want to be, you got it.
Well, I'm working on better, but let's Pocono is the next race, right?
That is correct.
I'm going to take the 99.
The 99 for Charles. 99 at Pocono. It's in the book. By the way,
That would be Mr. Suarez, right?
That would be Senor Suarez. By the way, the Pocono is the last of the Prime races. It's Amazon Prime at Pocono. And then they go back to TNT, starting back to TNT in Atlanta.
Good. That means I can stop protesting.
Well, you probably won't stop protesting, but you can watch the race on TNT starting with Atlanta.
I will. I got a package from hell today.
From where?
From HELL.
Is that what the postmark said?
It said from hell to Charles Eason from hell.
Well, what was it?
It is the replica of the Undertaker's belt.
Oh my goodness! The replica of the Undertaker. Is this full size?
Yes,
Wow.
and believe me, it's heavy.
If it's a
I thought
replica,
it was,
I guess it is.
I mean, it is full size belt, and it has the weight to it.
Man, now did you order this, or did it just show up as a surprise?
Well, I ordered it. I paid $1,000 some for it.
Say that again.
I paid $1,000 some for it. So most likely, if the Undertaker wants it back, he can try and come and get it.
Well, he probably won't. You paid over $1,000 for it.
Hey, it's worth it. It came. I got the cover. I got something to put it in to keep the dust off of it.
You must have really wanted that belt.
Oh yeah, I got a few godchildren right now protesting what I've done.
All right, because you're spending their inheritance. Well, let me ask you. I'm curious about it. Now, on what occasions do you wear that? Can you wear it like with a tuxedo for formal occasions, or is it more of a casual thing, like with jeans?
I'm not going to wear it at all. I'm going to put it on the mantle like a trophy.
Okay. Well, I don't blame you. I probably would not go walking down the street with $1,000 belt around me either.
Oh, it's real leather. Everything on it is genuine. Comes with a certificate of ownership.
Man, how much does it weigh?
No, I don't know how much it weighs, but it's heavy. I don't want to be playing with it.
Well, I hope for $1,000, it better be heavy.
Oh, it is. It's got some weight to it, and money's no object.
Well, yeah, I realize that, of course. Why don't you? Can you send us a picture of it?
I wish I could. I don't know. I mean, not unless somebody could help me do it. But see, most likely telling me is not going to help me. But most likely, I should be somewhere on. I put it on Facebook. It should. It's most likely, if I figure out how to do it, I will send it to you.
Well, now, if you know how to put it on Facebook, sure, you should know how to attach it to an email and email it.
No, I'll have to get one of my godchildren to do it for me.
All right. Well, get one of your people, one of your staff. Just have them take a picture of that and then send an email to our email address.
They don't want to have nothing to do with it.
So they won't do it.
They don't want to touch it.
Well, if they work for you, it seems they would have to do it if you tell them to.
Why should I want their greedy little paws over my belt?
All right. Well, I give up then. I don't know. I don't have another suggestion.
Well, you probably think of one later, but most likely I don't want their dirty little paws over it.
All right. All right. Well, congratulations on your $1,000 Undertaker belt replica. Wear it in good health.
Well, it's from WWE.
The WWE, right?
Yeah, that's where it most likely. But most likely, I just spend money on anything if I want
now,
to.
you probably wouldn't want to wear that riding pad, would you? Because if you get a little bit off balance, it's going to take you down.
No, it's not leaving the house.
All right, we understand. All right, well, enjoy it.
Well, thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling. $1,000. Phone line is open. There is the number up there on the screen, and the email address is keneckelslive@gmail.com. Let's see, where were we? We were at Leon and Mark tied for fourth place. And then Charles in sixth. That's as far as we got. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing tonight, Ken?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I was hoping Bojangles see Charles down there in the parking lot with his Undertaker belt on, but I don't guess that's going to happen now.
Apparently not. He says he's not going to let it out of the house.
Okay. I guess that rules that out.
Well, it probably would not be. I don't know. I don't know the rules, but I'm going to guess it probably would be not regulation dress code for work at Bojangles.
Yeah, probably. Well, maybe on Friday dress down day, he might could slip in with that. You think?
Casual Friday. So, have you found your money yet?
No, sure have not, Ken. But I did get something in the mail from him Saturday, but it was kind of a disappointment. Got this little brown manila envelope, and I'm thinking, well, maybe this is something, and it didn't really have Civic name on it or anything, so I opened it up, looked at it, and it was from a credit union or bank or something. I really don't know where it came from because it had this off-the-wall name on it, but you'll never guess what it was.
Was it a welcome to Civic letter?
No.
What was it?
Your registers, your check register usually comes in a little plastic folder, right?
Right.
It was a plastic folder for a checkbook register, just the plastic folder.
But no checks.
No checks, no ID number, no nothing.
Has it got the Civic logo on there?
Nope. It sure don't.
So it's just a plain plastic checkbook holder.
Yeah, that's it. guess that's an improvement over the last 2 weeks, huh?
Not much. Not much of one.
No, it sure was. I tried calling him again this morning, Ken. I sat on the phone for about another hour and a half, and about an hour this evening, and still nothing. I think what I'm going to end up doing is call Kevin Kennedy from News 2 and see if he can't rattle somebody's cage. You know,
that wouldn't hurt. That wouldn't hurt at all. Well, the package with the checkbook, did that have a return address on it?
It did not. That's the reason I really don't know where it was from, or just thought it was very, very strange. I've never got anything like that in the mail again. Usually when you order checks or something, you get one at the register and whatever. But this was just slam out of the blue. Now, I assume it was from Civic.
Well, I was about to say, how do we know it's even from Civic?
We don't. But who else would send me one?
I don't know. All right, folks, let's do a quick update here. Folks, you may not know, he did business with a credit union. This outfit called Civic bought his credit union about almost 2 weeks ago. He hasn't been able to contact them in any way, shape, or form about his accounts. He doesn't have access to its accounts, but now they've sent him an unmarked checkbook holder with no return address on it, and it might be from them, and it might not. Now everybody's up to date.
Yeah, I just hope I don't get a bill for it, Ken.
Oh, gosh.
But that add insult to injury or what?
Now that would be the icing on the cake right there.
Yeah. Well, did you get to exercise your First Amendment right Saturday? Did you go out and protest anywhere?
I did not go out and protest anywhere on Saturday. I did exercise my First Amendment rights in probably 70 or 80 times on Saturday in various ways, but I was not involved in any protest.
Yeah. My heart and prayers goes out to the people up there in Minnesota, Ken, where that coward went out and shot those congressmen and senators instead of state people. It just takes a total lunatic to do something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an awful situation. We found out today he visited went to the homes of 2 others. He's in custody now, has been in custody since last night, and he's been charged by the FBI. And yeah, it's an awful, awful situation.
Whatever happened to today, well, we could discuss politics and you could agree or disagree with somebody without being threatened or really, being irate with the other person. I get upset about things, especially political stuff, but, I just can't see taking it to that limit or just, cursing somebody out over things. Every one of us has the right to speak our own opinion, but, the facts really decide what's really right and wrong. I just don't understand what happened to people where they just go over the top nowadays for no reason at all.
Well, I don't know. Let's remember that this is not everybody. This guy is not everybody. Most people wouldn't do that.
Right.
He is the exception rather than the rule. But that doesn't make it any less terrible that he did it, though.
It does not. All right, Ken. Thanks for taking my call, man. I really enjoy you.
Well, thanks for calling. Good to hear from you. Phone lines open at that number. You can email us at keneckleslive@gmail.com. Let's see, where were we in the standings? Charles, number 6, ChatGPT and Lady in Black tied for 7th. Early Bird, 9th. Captain Midnight and Jack are tied for 10th. Citizen D has moved up to number 12 now. Number 13, Mr. NASCAR. And in 14th place, we have a tie for 14th. And we will reveal more about that in just a second. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please. And the caller just hung up the phone. In 14th place, we have the Liberal and Pretty Man now in a tie for 14th. They are 2 points behind, 2 points out of 13th and just 5 points out of 12th. But I mentioned, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, I mentioned that Pretty Man, who had been kind of top half of the standings, but I mentioned that Pretty Man would soon be working his way down to last place. And Pretty Man took exception to that. But here he is now, tied for the bottom. Pretty Man, tied with the Liberal. And I have no doubt that in another week, Pretty Man will be all by himself in last place because, he's Pretty Man. So I will get these emailed out quick as I can, send these out by email to everybody who communicates with us by email. But those are the standings as they stand. We've got 3 picks for Pocono so far. Leon has the 11, Mark from Mayodan has the 5, and Charles has the 99. Hello, caller. You're on the air, please.
Why y'all never have any volume?
We never have any.
I can't hear anything over the TV.
You don't hear anything?
Nothing at all.
Okay, ma'am, where are you watching us?
In Reedsville?
On cable?
Yes.
Okay. All right. They'll want to know in March what you're watching on. So you're watching on cable in Reedsville, and you're not hearing any sound at all. Is that right?
No sound at all. And I've tried several times to watch, and every time I try to watch, it's the same way.
All right, ma'am. Well, I apologize for that, and I don't know what the problem is as I sit here, but I'm letting them know now that it's on cable in Reedsville, and I hope somebody will be able to figure that out and fix it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, ma'am, and I apologize again for that. There are people, and I know many people who would prefer not to hear me. But for the few who would like, just out of curiosity, like to know what's going on, we really hope we can get sound provided there. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go, please.
Ken Briscoe from Hostel.
Hey, Briscoe.
You don't recognize my number because I've been calling on my cell phone.
I think that is a different number. Is your home phone off again?
Well, yes, it is.
Oh.
It's been off since my son told me it was either off Friday or Saturday, and I didn't want to fool with him. You can't make outgoing calls, but he dialed on the home phone, on the Brightspeed phone, he dialed their 800 number, 877 whatever, and got a hold of somebody and was on that with them, and they tell me they're going to have it repaired by July the 16th.
July the 16th.
That's 1 month from today.
I'm sorry. I apologize for laughing, Briscoe, but that's just crazy.
It is. It is.
All right.
Okay.
Now, let me get Briscoe. Hang on. I want to recap here. Your Brightspeed phone was off for what? About a month before? Is that right?
I think it's 3 weeks, I believe.
3 weeks. And then they fixed it, and it was on for 2 weeks, and now it's off again.
It is.
And they'll have it fixed in another month.
That's correct.
I don't know what to say about that, Briscoe.
Well, let me check. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Let me change the subject.
Okay.
This casino that they were proposing down here next to the children's whatever on South 220.
Yes.
That I suppose has been killed. Okay.
It is probably been killed. You never know for sure, but it's out of the picture right now.
Well, I want the Sheriff Sam Satchel Page of Rockingham County to know that down here at what is the Budget Inn Motel,
Right.
what used to be the restaurant, they've got signs up all over the place. They're opening some kind of gaming establishment there.
Uh-huh.
And I pulled up in front of it one day and didn't get out of the car and looked on the door. Sign on the door said one thing they were going to have was poker.
Okay.
So I think they're going to have poker, gaming machines, slot machines, I don't know what all. But I think the sheriff's department or law enforcement should check it out when it opens.
Well, the sheriff, I'm sure will take a strong interest in that. Now, let me say, I don't know exactly what they are planning to do. I don't know. They may have something going on that I don't understand, and I acknowledge that. But it sounds like something the sheriff would want to take a look at.
I would think so. But it did say in broad letters, poker. And I'm assuming they're going to be gaming machines or slot machines or whatever is in an establishment like that.
Unless they're just going to play poker for matchsticks.
Well, I don't think anybody. Well, I don't much think so.
I wouldn't. But, I wouldn't bet on that either.
Well, I hope some of the sheriff's employees is listening and watching tonight. And like I say, I don't know when the establishment is going to open, but it says opening soon.
Well, I expect the sheriff, if he hasn't heard about that already, I'm pretty sure he'll hear about it soon.
Well, I hope so, because we don't need that south of Madison or anywhere else in the county.
Well, Briscoe, I appreciate your call, and we'll all look forward to July 16th when they fix your phone.
Well, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thanks, Briscoe. Now, again, let's stress. I don't know, and Briscoe doesn't know either, exactly the details of what sort of gaming may or may not be on the way over there. But it certainly has the sound of something that the sheriff might want to look into, and I'm pretty confident that he will. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go, please.
Yes, Ken. How you doing?
Okay.
All right, Ken. Look, I would like to let me cut my TV down.
All right.
I like to say something, in light of some of the crazy activities going on and all. But I like to say, if someone has an issue with something I say, then don't attack the host, because I think Ken does an excellent job at the difficult task of navigating a variety of opinions. He does the best he can to be fair and unbiased. Now, whoever said he never correct me is wrong. Last Monday night, when I asked about the 200 Marines being deployed to go attack American citizens, he respectfully told me no, said they hadn't been deployed yet. And I appreciate any correction, because I want to know the facts. You know what I mean?
Well,
huh?
They also would not be attacking American citizens. The Marines wouldn't be authorized to do that.
Right. So I appreciate those corrections, and I think we all as a public, I need to know the facts, and I want to know the facts. But if I say something that someone disagree with or whatever, then it's not fair to attack the host. They can attack me, because I played in the 60s with all white band. So anything that's said is not something I haven't heard before. And my mother taught me at an early age that words don't define you. Your action does. So I want to get that out the way right quick. Now,
Okay.
on another subject, Ken, After Trump billionaire friends called 24/7 complaining about losing hotel workers and farmers who have vegetables and fruits rotting in the field, now the Waffle Man says no more raids in hotels, restaurants, and farms by ICE. Now, when all us said he was arresting workers, not murderers, he would not listen. But when the billionaire friends called, listen. And you can't get his attention without money. All right, now Israel is baiting us into a war. Gas prices jumped 20% in one night. Now, Iran furnished Russia with weapons and assistance in Ukraine. So my question is, Russia assists Iran with Israel. Whose side would China and North Korea take? We could be headed for World War III. And I ask your comment on that perceived.
Well, I mean, it was, a couple of things.
Okay.
President Trump last week posted on Truth Social.
Yes.
He said that undocumented aliens who are working on farms and in the hospitality industry, in hotels and such, he said that basically, this is not an exact quote, this is the gist of what he said on Truth Social, is that they deserved to be allowed to stay in the country and work, even if they didn't have some of the things that they were supposed to have, is what he said. And he
what
said,
changed?
And he said there would be an order to that effect forthcoming. I don't know that order has ever come, has it? Has he ever given that order?
Well, no, the order hasn't come, but the like I said, the statements and all on Truth Social and all, and say this is what, at first it was supposed to be weeding out murderers and people like that, and then it got to the state, anybody not supposed to be here and don't have the papers, we don't want them here. We got to that stage.
Right.
And now, if you here and don't have papers, and you working in the fields, working in restaurants, and working on farms, which many of his billionaire supporters own, know. And the restaurant, the hotel industry is a lot of his big friends, and including his place.
Well, now I understand that, and he did say what you said he said, but someone asked an ICE official several days after that if the president had issued an order to that effect, and at that time they said that they had not received any such order. So I guess, but the point is, I don't really know what the status of that is right now.
Okay, right. So, like you said, words have been said, but the orders have not been issued for them,
to my knowledge,
to change their procedure.
Now, as far as Israel and Iran and Russia and China, that is, I mean, this is not breaking news. That's a dangerous situation. Iran and Israel are exchanging missiles pretty much every night. I think over 200 people, according to reports, have been killed in Iran. And I think the last report I saw, 24 people have been killed in Israel. The fear is that other countries will be involved. We certainly don't know what the Russians are going to. Iran has been a client of Russia in many ways. We don't know what
Right.
the Russians would do or what the Russians would not do about this, depending on how far it goes. And it's something we should all be worried about. I don't know what the outcome is. I wish I knew.
No, I just hope we don't get drugged into that wall. But see, Israel has a way of going. I mean, he does. I don't think he pays attention to any of our presidents. You want to know the truth? Because Trump said he was not in favor of many of the things that Israel's doing, you know? So, but I think Netanyahu, as long as he stays in the fight and keep keep something going on, he doesn't have to worry about his legal issues.
Well, that is one aspect of it. Yes, it is.
All right, Ken. Like I said, enjoy your show and enjoy the different opinions. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks for calling. Phone line is open. There is a number there. The email address is kenickleslive@gmail.com. You can give us a call or send us an email, whichever works best for you. This emailer says, Ken, you told Briscoe that the casino is out of the picture. Does that mean that the casino is dead and gone and that we don't have to worry about the casino anymore? No, all that means is that right now the casino is out of the picture. What's going to happen in the future? Who knows? Hello, caller. You're on the air. Please.
Yes, good evening to you, Ken.
Good evening.
You know, the previous caller brings to mind a comment, and I'd like to share that.
All right.
There are 3 criteria necessary to be an effective boundary setter. And you can substitute law or rule or whatever term you want to use for boundary. But for the sake of this argument, we'll use boundary.
Okay.
There are 3 criteria to be effective. Excuse me. The first criteria for a boundary to be effective, it must be clear, simple, and concise.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In other words, that speaks for itself. The second rule of setting an effective boundary is that it must be non-negotiable.
Right.
And the third criteria is it must be enforceable.
Right.
So when you look at all of these things, let's revisit the immigration comments and conversation that's going on. We have a boundary that is not clear. It is not concise. The boundary has already been negotiated by the boundary setter by saying, well, we're not going to do this with farms, blah, blah, blah. And it is not enforceable. So at the end of the day, it's just another piece of garbage coming out of some elected legislator, shall we say, even though that's not his branch of government, trying to set a rule that is not going to be effective. But the problem is that at the end of the day, you, me, and every other human being that walks on this planet internalizes this in a way that we really don't stop to think about. We do actually internalize that with this message in mind. Well, if he sets that boundary, it can't enforce. Why should I think he can enforce any boundary he sets? And that's the way human beings operate. So therein lies the rub with all of this boundary stuff back and forth. For example, the wall. You nailed it directly correct, sir, in your discussion months ago with a caller about the wall. The wall won't work by itself, plain and simple. The only way the wall won't enforce it. You have to have, as you adequately said, boots on the ground looking at that wall to be able to enforce that boundary.
Right.
So I wish people kind of took a look at this and said, wait a minute, this, and on top of that, the man who's making these kind of statements isn't charged with making laws. So, I just want to share that with folks about take a look at boundary setting when you're looking at what these people are doing.
Well, the confusing part comes when we read one thing in a social media post,
Right.
but we'll just use the policy. Don't arrest farm workers, restaurant workers, and hotel workers. Even if they're illegal, they can stay.
Right.
We read that
Correct.
in a social media post. But again, this may have changed. But the last I heard, the people at ICE said they had not been ordered to change policy, that their orders had not been changed. They were still ordered to go after all illegals.
Well, I'll counter that with this statement. I haven't heard otherwise, except I've heard it on 3 major networks, all different networks, who have actually said this is what he said, that they were going to stop Target. And in fact, as recently as this evening 6:30 news, I heard it again said, he has said we're not going to target farm workers, restaurant workers, and hotel workers.
Well,
and that's being by all the
true.
major.
That's true. He did say that, but I don't think a social media post has the force of an order to a federal agency, though.
Correct. Which brings me back to the crux of the problem is this is where we're looking with our leadership. We have a leader who's saying things that clearly half the country wants to follow blindly, and everybody, they're trying, he's talking about a rule that simply cannot be enforced because he sabotaged it himself. Plain and simple. He made his own rule negotiable. Yeah. So I wish people would not try to understand this when they're looking at people whose job it is to set the rules. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but we are always, I think, to one extent or another. Well, I can only speak for myself. I am always, to one extent or another, confused by what I hear from elected officials. I mean, let's go back to remember Obama's red line in Syria?
Oh, yeah.
The red line is the Syrians cannot use chemical weapons. If they cross that red line, we will act. When they crossed the red line, and we didn't act.
Right.
So, I mean, this is something that we hear from officials, and this isn't the first time.
Well, and the problem is that it's across the board, Kent. It's literally across the board. Even your local law enforcement do the same thing. It's literally across the board on the part of all of the enforcement agencies in this country. And I certainly don't want martial law. Oh, absolutely not. But for goodness sakes, you're sabotaging your own message to the public every day, and it's never going to get better as shooting yourself in the foot.
Well, what would be an example of it from law enforcement?
All right, here's one. Let me ask you, have you heard of anybody who's been pulled over because of the license plate bracket covered up part of the state name of North Carolina?
No. No, I haven't.
You want me to continue from there?
Okay, that's right.
See, another law that they can't enforce aren't enforcing. So the message to me as a human being inside is, well, they made that law and they can't enforce it. What makes them think they can enforce anything else?
Yeah. Well, now that you've started the ball rolling, I think tinted windows are also illegal, but I see them all the time.
Correct. You see anybody getting pulled over for it?
Never have.
Have you ever heard anybody getting pulled over for that loud exhaust by you in the middle of the night?
Nope, never. I've never. Not this time. Back in 1960, people got ticketed for that, but not now. They don't.
That's right. In 1960, in 68 and 69, I got pulled over because I had a loud exhaust.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about it now, even though it is still against the law.
So my point being is even from the local all the way to the national, somewhere along the line, the whole idea of set an effective boundary has just gone by the wayside, And at the end, all it does is sabotages every message that comes out of their mouth.
Well, I'm going to set a boundary now and
I've talked long.
complete this call. Well, thanks for calling. Thanks
Thank you, Ken.
Okay. Let's see. We have some emails over here. Getting back to the one about the casino. No, I'm certainly not guaranteeing that the casino will never come back or the casino will never happen, but it's not going to come back in the near future. I think we know, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, who knows? But for the time being, I think the casino is out of our hair. This emailer says, Ken, am I still ahead of the Liberal? I will ride with the 5 this week. This is Citizen D. Citizen D, you are up to 12th place now. You are ahead of Mr. NASCAR, the Liberal, and Pretty Man. So you are riding high. How much rain in Eden last night? I don't know how much. I don't have a measuring. I know somebody who has a rain gauge. If you call him, he can tell you exactly how much he had. I don't have a rain gauge, so I don't know how much I had. But it was pretty heavy there, a time or two. It was a considerable amount of rain that we had last night. And then we had some more today. We even had a little bit of heavy rain today. Again, I don't know how much, but it's all been enough that I'd like to go a few days without seeing any. And eventually we will go, I'm sure, a few days without seeing any. But today was not one of those days. Hey, Ken, says this emailer, this is Mr. NASCAR, also competing for last place. Well, yeah, you are. I am going to choose for Pocono number 5. So Mr. NASCAR has the 5 for Pocono. And Mr. NASCAR, you are 13th. You're ahead. You're ahead of the Liberal and Pretty Man, but you're behind Citizen D. Getting pretty exciting there at the bottom of the stand. Pretty exciting at the top of the standings too. Just only 15 points between the top 3, from Mr. Leakesville in first place down to Mr. Draper in third, 313 to 298. Only 15 points separating those 3, and then Leon and Mark at 278. Not all that far behind either. We have 4 races left. We have Pocono, we have Atlanta, we have the Chicago street race, and then we have another road course at Sonoma. And after those 4 races, that'll be the end of the segment. And then we'll start over and have the 13 races until the end of the season. Last one on Prime this week at Pocono. Prime will be out of the picture after this week. Then they'll go back to TNT. It'll be a combination TNT and USA and others for the rest of the year. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Could you explain to me how that game works where people are calling in changing numbers on something?
Oh, well, people are making picks for the NASCAR race this week. And usually they just refer to the car numbers, the number 11, number 9, number 8. Those are car numbers, and everybody's trying to pick the winner of the race.
Oh, okay, if they pick the winner, do they get a prize or something?
Well, eventually, what we do is you get points depending on where your car finishes. If your car wins the race, you get 40 points. You get 39 for second, 38 for third, and on down the line. And then at the end of the segment, whoever has the most points wins. In this case, it'll be tickets to the race in Martinsville this fall.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And if you want to get in on it, we will start all over. After the next 4 races, we'll start all over at 0, and everybody will be in again for the last 13 races of the season. It'll be a brand new game, and that is all the time we have for Star Talk tonight. We're on the air Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Hope you'll join us next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Echols.